Is recovery from schizophrenia a rare thing, or about how many people with schizophrenia will have a recovery in any meaningful way?
Well, I think generally, as you know, probably the rule of thirds, that a third will do well, that a third will do medium well, and that a third will do poorly. But oftentimes people, they see me, and they hear about my bachelor's degree and nearly straight A's since I recovered, and my work with the Cures Foundation and my social life, and say, well, Bethany, she's the exception to the rule. But I'd like to say that that's not true. I'm not the exception to the rule. People recover from schizophrenia and resume normal life all the time today. The medications are better than they've ever been. They offer a lot of hope. And one of the things Cures does that I'm really proud of is we highlight what we call schizophrenia survivors. These are people who are thriving despite a schizophrenia diagnosis, not just stabilized and sitting at home watching TV. People who work or volunteer, enjoy meaningful relationships, are really doing quite well. And I love highlighting these stories because they show that I'm not the exception to the rule, and people do recover today.
There are people who would say that schizophrenia can be treated without medications. Some people would even say that the use of medications is wrong or evil because we give people side effects and we're using pills to treat something which ought to be treated spiritually or psychologically or by modifying their environment.
I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it wasn't about diet or exercise or willpower. There was nothing I could do with these hallucinations. It was like a person with Alzheimer's. You don't tell someone with Alzheimer's to just buck up and pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and be strong and deal with it. You don't say that to someone with Alzheimer's disease because you recognize it's a brain disease and people are not culpable for their behavior. So when it comes to the Cures Foundation, all of the people that I feature as schizophrenia survivors, they take medication, or at least to the best of my knowledge, they're still taking medication. I'm interested in that kind of schizophrenia. I recognize that there are people out there who may have schizophrenia who can deal with it without meds, but that's not me.
One of the arguments that people will use against using medicines is related to the fact that many medications will have side effects, especially if they're given in doses that are too high or if they're not changed when they occur. And it sounds like you had some experiences with side effects. Can you tell me what sorts of side effects you did experience with medication?
Yeah, so my first medication had many side effects. One was called Extrapyramidal side effects, EPS. So that was muscle rigidity. Akathisia, you're really, really restless. Sitting for 5 minutes is like sitting for 3 hours used to be. With my akathisia, I used to just try to walk. I would walk miles around the community, come back, still be totally restless, didn't help at all. I had anhedonia, which is flat affect, no ability to experience pleasure. You see your favorite picture or a sunrise and you feel nothing, or you hear your favorite music and you feel nothing. That was the hardest side effect. Weight gain, I gained about 10 pounds very quickly. And I'm sleeping often 16, sometimes 18 hours per night, and I'm waking up tired. So this medication made me permanently disabled. It wasn't the disease making me permanently disabled. It was the medication making me permanently disabled. And that's why I went off of it.
I understand from many people that talking about side effects with their doctor is something that they don't want to do or that they're fearful of. Did you have any experiences like that?
I wish that my doctor had talked to me about other medications I could take to help with the EPS. I think it's really very important to discuss these side effects with your doctor. There are medications that can be added. You can be switched to a different medication. I think the side effects, the potential side effects, should be talked about on day one. If you're having this muscle rigidity or this restlessness, there are things that can be done.
Physicians typically don't go into the business of medicine in order to make people ill. We want to use medicines to bring full recovery. I say to give people an awesome life. So if somebody has side effects, then they will do what you did, which is to stop taking the medicine, which then makes things worse. So I would suggest to anybody who's experiencing them, in general, doctors would love to know what side effects you're having so that we can make them go away. My view is that it's possible to treat schizophrenia with zero side effects. Not everybody can achieve that, but in shooting for that goal, we can certainly get most people to the point where they're either not existent or they're minimal. Has that been your experience, or people that you know it can be treated with? In your experience, or those of the people that you know, has treatment or recovery from schizophrenia with minimal or absent side effects been something that's been real?
Yes, yes. I know people who have minimal side effects on antipsychotics. I know some people who have gained some weight, not a huge amount of weight, but some significant weight. So that can be frustrating. For me, it's sedation. I feel a little tired. I can't work full time. I meet people all the time who may have some side effects, but overall, they're enjoying a very productive, happy life.
Yeah, so I think there's, I will make a plug, that it does seem, it's possible, and it should be the goal of everybody to experience full recovery with ideally zero side effects or truly minimal side effects. I'm glad that the Cures Foundation is trying to promote awareness of medication benefits and side effects. And I would also suggest to anybody who is struggling with them, talk with your doctor about them. And if your doctor can't solve this, then they can contact us at Neomed, and we have services. We can consult with physicians to try to achieve better results for people when they may be stuck or at an impasse.